Hello everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video and a continuation of my epic road trip. I guess this is part 3. So I stopped here in Pasadena. I wanted to meet up with a friend. I'm just looking for a pay station here because I have to pay before I leave, but it doesn't look like they have one on this level. So yeah, I'm here in Pasadena, Power Up Pasadena. Bunch of, well, you can see it, bunch of 50 kilowatt DC fast chargers. They used to be free, but they started charging now, which is fine. I mean, that's fair. I think it's a per kilowatt hour rate. I didn't really check. I just plugged in my credit card and started paying because I was here anyway, and you know, I can use the juice. I'm up to 70%, and I'm actually, because I'm paying for charging and I'm paying for parking, and I don't have anything else to do in Pasadena, I'm just going to head out now. And so if you've been following along, you know the next destination is Vegas. And well, if you know anything about leaving Southern California, the later you get out, the harder it is to get to Vegas, even though this is actually a Thursday night, so the traffic shouldn't be too bad. But like I said, I have no reason to be here longer. I'm paying for both ends, both charging and for parking. And yeah, so it just means I'm probably going to take some extra stops along the way. But I think 70% is more than enough to get me out of Southern California proper. And then, like I said, I'll just sort of play it by ear. I don't really plan my charging stops like a lot of people do. I just sort of drive and know how far I can go between charges and just stay aware of what chargers are available along my route, and then sort of pick and choose as I'm driving, or maybe if I have a particular thing that I'm looking to do. It's saying about 5 hours to get to Las Vegas right now, 262 miles, 4 hours, 55 minutes of driving time. We're going to Primm though, but then you also have to add the charging time, so I'm expecting about 9 o'clock that we get to Primm, maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit later, but the traffic is already looking pretty bad. I'm not going to be able to go 5 hours without using the bathroom, and the Bolt EV is not going to be able to go 262 miles without stopping to charge. So we're guaranteed to make at least 1 and possibly 2 stops along the way, and probably something to eat, so and use the bathroom and all of that, because I haven't done that in a while. Eat, that's... Thanks. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get headed out because I don't want to pay any more than I have to, and we're just wasting time sitting in front of a charger. We're here in Eddy World. I just decided along the way that that's where I wanted to go. I arrived here with, I guess, what was it, 20% battery or 18% battery. I wasn't worried at all. The thing is, traffic getting out of Southern California is ridiculous, and it, I think, added 30 minutes on top of Google's estimate that was already like putting me at 5 hours to get to Vegas. And that's kind of what I hate about getting out of Southern California and heading to Vegas. It's just the traffic. The benefit, of course, the good thing is that my efficiency was ridiculous. Somehow or another, just that, 80 miles or so getting out of Southern California was enough to bring freeway speed efficiency from 800 miles of driving all the way up to like 3.8, 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. That should never happen. That shouldn't have been my efficiency. But anyway, so one of the other reasons I wanted to stop here is I know Eddy World. I've been here before. I don't know that I've ever charged here before. But this is, in my opinion, kind of a perfect travel stop for EVs just heading out to Vegas or back into Southern California, because it sort of bridges a necessary gap. And they were originally going to put in the Tritium chargers, but ChargePoint, I think, wisely scrapped that and brought in 3 of their ChargePoint Express chargers that are the, I think, 150, 160 amps. So they're the 62.5 kilowatt, which maxes out the Bolt EV, which is great. But even then, I don't actually want to be here that long. I guess it doesn't have a timer telling me how long I've been here. It says how long is remaining on the charge, which is useless. I'm only going to be here about 15 to 20 minutes. All I'm looking to do is bump up my range a little bit to get to Baker. But this place has bathrooms, it has beverages, it has, I've been getting migraines as a result of going to the LA Auto Show. I think journalists just rubbed me the wrong way, so I'm allergic to myself. But yeah, so I'm going to probably grab some ibuprofen or something and then just end the charge pretty quick. I might not even be to 50% battery before I leave. I grabbed everything I needed to grab. We're up to about 50% battery right now. We've actually already started throttling, probably due to battery temperature, battery conditioning, which actually aligns. It's not the step down, but it aligns with the old step down that could occur at 46% instead of 50% if your battery was warm. So this is actually pretty normal. I'm looking at the cost though. The cost is actually pretty significant. This station looks like it's charging about 50 cents per kilowatt hour, which is that's quite a lot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put continue to Vegas into my route planner, and actually I'll show you. So I put continue to Vegas, and then I'm just going to say, okay, Google, Baker, California.
Sure, adding a stop at Baker.
Now, I could also do like the world's tallest thermometer or whatever. Yeah, so they're saying it's only 53 miles. So I absolutely don't need to stay here. And like I said, now almost $10 for 19 kilowatt hours. I'm getting out of here. I'm unplugging. Oh, come on, don't you? That's the one thing I do not like about these ChargePoint Expresses is that interface seems to not read the button properly. So you can just hold here, ends the charge. So yeah, they're saying I was here for, nice cars. They're saying I was here for 24 minutes, which is not surprising. Yep, and it's 50 cents per kilowatt hour. So I would say don't use this site. Frankly, just don't use this site. Yeah, whatever. They're gonna... Whatever. That's why I said I don't like... That's the one thing that ChargePoint needs to fix with these units. But 50 cents per kilowatt hour is unnecessarily high, especially for a convenience stop like this. Just sell people power for a reasonable rate. I would say... even up to 35 cents per kilowatt hour is reasonable. Maybe this is peak times, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's just too high. Anyway, we know where Baker is, and cool cars down there. Oh, and some Teslas. well, we made it to Baker, no problem, with actually, about 24% battery left. The charger was a little bit finicky when I started it. I did notice that the cable was feeling a little bit loose. I actually ended up having to put the camera down because it's that initial handshake that you have to support the cable on for the Bolt EV when it's those heavier like the Huber Plus Sooner cables. You have to get it right during the initiation. Then you can let it off. But that felt like there was a weird amount of slack and it was a little sloppy. So I just put the camera down and then retried it again, and Ollie worked just fine. So in terms of this trip, this is a kind of a cool EVgo site in that they have ABB, BTC, and ABB chargers all at one. But like I showed at the display at the LA Auto Show, what EVgo was displaying were Signet chargers and Delta chargers. So EVgo is an equal opportunity charger user. So you never know what you're going to get until you get to the site and look at it. Kind of like Electrify America, but I would say EVgo is even more unpredictable. Electrify America has bigger, longer standing contracts. But anyway, I'm glad I got a snack at Eddie World. That little marketplace there, they used to be open. Last time I was through here, I had some nice carne asada fries, which is a fun little meal to have. But because of the snack, I'm not super hungry, but I was going to stop to eat. But what I was debating about is, it was really efficient getting here, even though I was actually driving pretty fast. And it makes sense because it's downhill. And arriving with 24% battery, if I'm actually just going to Primm for tonight, like State Line, I'm not going all the way into Vegas, I actually don't need that much of a charge. And then, of course, there is also the other elephant in the room, is a GM advisory. I haven't really spoken about this a whole lot on these road trip videos yet, other than, I did turn off Hilltop Reserve mode. Actually, it shows it right here, while I'm charging, that I actually have it on. That the GM advisory does kind of put you into a pickle if you're traveling. And then, of course, the other aspect of that is they don't want you to go below, I think they said 70 miles, if I recall correctly. So it's essentially around 30% battery. They don't want you to go below that, which, if you've been following these road trip videos, I've been doing quite a lot of. So I've been getting down to 1% battery, I think, 5% battery, or 3% battery, 4% battery. So I've driven the car down low quite a number of times, but always immediately followed that with a DC fast charging session to get it back up again. They don't want you plugging in and leaving the car completely unattended and unwatched and just letting it charge away. And that's the problem if I'm going to try to level 2 charge overnight. But Primm, open air, open parking lot, so plugging in and charging there shouldn't be an issue, especially with Hilltop Reserve mode on. All right, well, that sort of answers that question here. Let me bring this up and see if I can scroll through the screen left-handed. So PlugShare has it just over there at the Whiskey Pete's. And the comments, though, if you scroll down, so this is what I look for, right, is more of the comments. So you see all stations broken, out of order, station is out of order. And then also, no longer free, they charge $6 an hour. So, that's unfortunate. And then, you look at it, someone actually took a picture of it. It has an out of order sign on it. So, so basically what it's telling me is I can't count on that as overnight charging anyway. So, I might as well charge up a little bit extra here. I'm already at a little over 50%. So, I'll probably, probably do my standard up to, I think, like 65 to 70%, and then head out, and then that should give me enough to make it to Vegas in the morning without worrying, even if the car isn't plugged in and charging. Okay, Google. Primm, California.
Okay, I'm setting your destination to Primm in Nevada, United States.
Sorry, Nevada. At least they corrected me. So, yeah, they're saying only 50 miles. And then again, like I said, I think Primm is 40 miles into Vegas. But, yeah, there's no real need to stay much longer than this. I'm not going to count on using that charger. But this should give me plenty of range when I arrive in Primm, that I can just let the car sit and not have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and end session at 69%. So it is cooling off though, and we do have to go over a mountain, so there are those things to consider. So yeah, I started at 24, ended at 69. So, I mean, and this is what I would consider a pretty typical session. Maybe you would want to start a little bit earlier, and maybe about 45 minutes, you'd go from like 10% to 69%. That's my sort of recommendation for the Bolt EV anyway for traveling. But other cars, of course, vary. So let's hit the road. All right, well, we got here about 9:24, which is Whiskey Pete's. Woohoo! It's about 24 minutes later than I initially thought when we were leaving Pasadena, but given the amount of traffic, I guess that checks, right? Yeah, that's about right. About 25 minutes of additional traffic beyond what Google initially estimated. But anyway, I'm going to go in and see if I can get a room, and we'll go from there. Well, good morning from Primm State Line. I'll tell you what, travel is being a mess right now. So, I knew the level 2 charger was down. I charged around that. But everything, like all of the restaurants are closed. So a lot of this, I think, has to do with the pandemic, people not traveling. Restaurants that are normally 24 hours are like closing at like 9 or 10 o'clock. Primm Valley is the only hotel that's actually renting rooms. So Whiskey Pete's is open as a casino, but in this whole area here, this is the only hotel. So, and again, like I said, the level 2 chargers over there were down. There are Tesla superchargers here on this Primm Valley Resort side, but there are also Electrify America chargers that are in the process of going in. So this is actually going to be a great stop moving forward in the future. But like I said, these businesses are just going to have to start opening. Otherwise, the travel experience is just going to be really kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm already burning daylight. I need to head into Vegas. I'm here in Vegas at the, the Premium Outlets. This is Premium Outlets South, but I'm in a bit of a hurry because I want to eat while I'm charging, and the only restaurants are a bit away, so I'm going to walk over to them. Electrify America started right up first try. This site used to be pretty problematic, but right now it seems like it's working, just fine. I'm not charging that quickly, so maybe this module is still sort of out of whack, but my battery might be cold because it got down into the 40s last night, and of course I wasn't plugged in, so I'm not really worried about that. Like I said, it's 6:43 right now, so I need to run over, grab some food. The place I need to go to doesn't open until 8 a.m. anyway, but I need to be there like at 8 a.m. sharp pretty much, or pretty as close to it as I can get. And of course I have to find parking over there and all that, so that's going to be an issue. But yeah, so I'm just going to run over, and I think there's a Denny's down there and a Black Bear down there, and I don't know which one is going to be faster, but I'm going to go now. It looks like it worked out just perfectly. I wanted to get back to the car no later than 7:45, and I'm back here at about 7:30. So again, where I need to go, I want to be there by 8 o'clock, but it doesn't open until 8 o'clock. So kind of a weird, conjunction right there. But yeah, so I'm just going to try and load it up into Maps. And I'm scheduled to get there by about 7:50. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get ready to close out this charging session and head out. All right, well, Vegas was a bit of a bust. Just a lot of people, not enough social distancing and that sort of thing. But truth of the matter is I still have a lot of work to do on processing the videos, things like that. So, from the auto show and the trip and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to my room out in Primm, probably pick something to eat up on the way just for a lunch, and then again, no level 2 chargers. The DC fast chargers on site aren't up and running yet. So I'll probably be leaving out of Primm with whatever I arrive with. And right now I have about 75% battery, probably a little less than that at this point. And yeah, but I mean, it should be fine. This also means that I can check out of my room early, probably tomorrow morning, which will be a Saturday, and then that means that I have basically all day Saturday to travel and go around different places. I might actually just try and make it back home to Northern California tomorrow or Sunday, but that gives me, again, a chance to sort of decompress, work, get some stuff done before my actual work week starts. So let's head back. So, yeah, I just decided to stop over here on my way back to the motel room. I mean, it is a Friday, so it is a working day for normal people. So they are actually working on the Electrify America chargers right now. It's really hard to give you an estimate, though, of when these will be done, because what ends up happening is the technicians, the crew, they get everything installed pretty quickly. The physical build out of the site doesn't actually take that long, probably just a few weeks, depending. I'm sure more challenging sites are a little bit longer, but overall it usually only takes a couple of weeks, and the site is physically constructed. The long part is usually the permitting, the zoning, the ensuring the power, and then of course what's been a huge problem in California is the getting the actual power lines hooked up, getting the transformer in, getting the utilities to okay it, and to get the final inspection done. In California, I think Electrify America has stated that's like 2 or 3 times longer than the average, the national average. So the fact that this is in Nevada here, you have the state line right there, and that's where you can get the lotto tickets. But yeah, so this is on the Nevada side. I have to imagine it's going to be, treated more like a Nevada charger installation, which means that once these are physically done, I mean, they could go on in theory as quickly as a month or so later. I know Utah, I think, they were the ones that were really good about that. So a site would be physically ready and it would go online just a month or so after that. And from a California perspective, that's like absurd, because we have sites that have been physically completed for 3, 4, 5, 6 months that are still not open now. So it's kind of a ridiculous contrast. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I will say this site is way out of the way, much farther out of the way than I thought it would be. It's going to have 6 chargers, which is great, good coverage. It does look like, despite those reports about ending CHAdeMO, one of the chargers will have a CHAdeMO head there, it looks like. But yeah, so, but it says this is near the food court within the, inside the outlets. Inside the outlets, so I'm assuming that this is maybe going to be catering more toward people actually visiting the outlet mall. The Tesla supercharger over there, you might or might not have caught a glimpse of it when I drove in, is completely full. I'm sure it will still be full when I drive by, but yeah, I think it's also 6 stalls, but they're the shared power stalls. So this is basically, this Electrify America site is capable of outputting at least twice as much, basically charging 6 vehicles at full speed as opposed to 6 vehicles at half speed. But I'm no expert on the Prim site. I just know it's one of the older ones. And of course, way out there in the distance, you can see the Ivanpah solar power. So, I mean, if you're charging up during the day here, you're probably getting most of your juice from the sun. So anyway, just thought I'd stop by and show it. They're working. I'm not going to be intrusive or anything like that. It's all chained anyway. But yeah, it looks like it's coming along just fine. So this will be another nice stop in Prim near the outlets. Good morning, everyone, and I feel like I should say welcome to another News Coolum video. I think I kind of lost a video in the sense that I should have closed out last night, but I really don't have a whole lot of plans, right? Because I'm trying to work and process on the videos that I have already shot for the LA Auto Show, so hopefully I can start getting those out pretty soon. Being on the road, obviously, means they're going to be delayed, but that is what it is. But really, I wanted to break up this road trip into sort of consumable chunks rather than putting out an hour-long or 2-hour-long video or whatever. So I was planning on 4 parts, but because someone has asked about reliability on the Electrify America charging network up to this point, and so far, it's first time activated every time. Every charger, 100% reliability. The only issues I've had have been on an EVgo charger, and that's because I knew when I felt the handle that it wasn't inserted properly, and then the one in Power Up Pasadena because I didn't realize it was actually a pay station now. Those were the only 2 hangups, and even then, the first charger I selected worked on the second try once I realized what was going on. So anyway, I'm gonna head out. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I hope it was informative, and I hope these tips and tricks about what I do when I travel are actually helpful and useful, and thank you for watching.